morning everyone. This is Pavani. Hope everyone is fine and everyone celebrated this Dasara festival in a grand manner. I think so. Okay. So today for 10th standard I would like to take the lesson The Brave Potter. Okay. The Brave Potter. Yes. So let us listen the story of a brave potter. Margaret Sake has chosen a very well-known Indian folktale for retelling English. So, Margaret Sake has chosen a very well-known Indian folktale for retelling English. Okay, for retelling in English. Children and adults alike are fond of folktales. Okay, they are alike of, like, what fond means what? Like. Okay, they like folk tales which are often amusing and sometimes instructive. Okay, these stories are often means what? Many times. These stories are many times amusing and sometimes they are instructive. So what is the meaning of instructive? Conveying knowledge or information. The meaning of instructive is conveying knowledge or information. So Margaret Sake has chosen a very well-known Indian folktale for retelling in English. Okay, she has taken a folktale story to retell in English. Children and adults alike are fond of folktales. Okay, generally children and adults, they like folktales which are often amusing. They were very amusing. Amusing means interesting, and sometimes they are instructive. What is the meaning of instructive? Conveying knowledge or information. Now the story starts here. It was dark. Thick black clouds covered the evening sky. Okay, it was dark. Thick black clouds covered the evening sky. The thunder roared and the strong wind shook the branches and leaves of the trees in the forest. Pit pat pit drops of rain fell. Okay, in the lower standard you have learned pitter patter raindrops, pitter patter raindrops. So pit pat drops of rain fell. Then the lightning flashed and split the black sky with its blinding light. Soon it was raining heavily. After some time, when we see the black clouds, it is the indication that it is going to rain. Okay, and we can see the lightning, we can see the thunders. Okay, we can see the thunders. So the moment when we hear thunders, we expect that it may be very heavy rainfall. Okay, so the rain has started and it was a very heavy rainfall. Okay, it was raining heavily. An old tiger ran through the rain looking for shelter. So now what happened? One old tiger, it was running for what? It was running for the shelter. Okay, it was searching for the shelter where it has to hide because it was heavily raining. Okay, he was wet and cold and his cave was far away. So because of the rain, the tiger has become wet and it was cold, it was shivering, and his cave was far away. The cave was very far away to the place where it was right now. Then while hurrying to his shelter, he saw an old hut. So when the tiger was trying to go to his shelter, in the meanwhile, it saw one hut. Okay, hurrying means what? It was in a hurry to go to the shelter. At the time, the tiger has seen one old hut. Okay, with a sigh of relief, oh my God, at last I found one shelter. Who felt like that? The tiger felt. Then, with a sigh of relief, the tiger crawled under the thatched roof. It crawled under the thatched roofs. So what is the meaning of thatched roof? Covered with dried straw. You know palm trees, no? For the palm trees, what we have the branches. Okay, those branches they put there. Once the people those who don't have the house, they put the huts, no? On the hut they covered the top with the roofs. Okay, those are what thatched roof we call. Covered with the dried straw. Okay, the dry one. And lay down by the door. So it went there and lay down. It lie down by the side of the door. Then, except for the sound of the rain, all was quiet before he could nod off. However, he heard something heavy being dragged inside the hut. This was followed by the voice of a woman. So now what happened here? So it thought that once when the rain was completely out, then I can move to my shelter. Who thought like that? The tiger thought in that way. But in the meanwhile, what happened? Okay, he heard something heavy. Okay, he in the sense the tiger. Tiger heard something heavy being dragged inside the hut. So someone is something dragging inside the hut. Dragging means what? Pulling inside the hut. This was followed by the voice of a woman. So something, okay, the woman was dragging something inside. So the tiger heard that it is a voice of a woman. Okay, the tiger understood that it was a voice of a woman and she is dragging something inside. Because of that, I can hear the sound. Who felt like that? The tiger. Then, oh, how terrible this leak is, she complained. So now what? She is muttering herself. Okay, what she said? Oh, how terrible this leak is. Leak means what? A crack. Okay, leak means what? A crack. See the meaning? Leak means what? A crack. So now, what happened here? She herself, she was telling to her, oh, how terrible this leak is, she complained. How terrible, I would rather meet tiger in the forest than have this leak in my house. So she is telling to herself that instead of this, I would have met the tiger in the forest. So what the tiger will think? Maybe the leak is another animal. Compared to me, it is the biggest creature. Who thought like that? The tiger thought like that. Okay, then a leak, the tiger thought. What might be the leak? What is that animal compared to me? Is it big? Why this lady is telling like this? Okay, instead of this, I would have met the tiger in the forest. Why she said like that? Means leak is a big creature or what? Okay, it started thinking. Who started thinking like that? The tiger. Then now what happened? What is a leak? It must be very dangerous and strong, or the woman would not be more frightened of the leak than of me. So then what the tiger was thinking, maybe this leak is more dangerous and more stronger than me. Because of that only this woman is frightened of me, frightened of that leak than me. Okay, so am I not rightly called the king of the forest? Then again itself it is thinking that I am the king of the forest, right? Then who is this leak? What the lady is talking about the leak? Then aren't they all afraid of me? Then all the animals in the forest, aren't they afraid of me? I wonder what a leak looks like. So now again he thought that okay, this woman is getting frightened more than me to the leak. That means leak is more dangerous than me. Who felt like that? The tiger felt in that way. Then soon afterwards the tired tiger fell asleep. After some time, what happened? The tiger was very tired and it fell asleep. It slept. Okay, he was suddenly awakened by an angry voice shouting in his ear. He felt heavy blows fall upon his head and shoulder. So suddenly what happened? He was suddenly awakened by an angry voice shouting in his ear. Something shouting in his ear. Okay, in his ear. So immediately the tiger got up from the sleep. He felt a heavy blows fall upon his head and the shoulder. Something has fell on his body. He felt like that. Okay. Then, you horrible beast, a voice screamed angrily. How dare you run away? How dare you make me walk about in the middle of the night trying to find you? Be careful. One of these days I'll kill you. Now go home. Okay, so now what happened? You horrible beast. Beast means what? A big animal. A voice screamed angrily. Suddenly the tiger heard angrily someone is speaking. Okay, how dare you run away? How dare you make me walk about in the middle of the night trying to find you? In the middle of the night I came for you in search of you. Okay, be careful. One of these days I'll kill you. Now go home. So, okay, these words were heard by whom? Heard by the tiger. Now, the old tiger shivered by hearing these words. The tiger shivered. Maybe the lady said that leak is very like what terrible this and that she said. So by hearing that, the tiger understood that leak is more dangerous than this tiger. After some time, when it slept, again he heard some noise. Okay, angrily some words. Then by hearing those words, he thought that okay, really leak may be the very dangerous animal. And now the tiger getting shivered. This must be the leak who has come out of the hut. I would better do as he says or he will kill me. So now what happened? I would better do as he says or he will kill me. I'll run away from this place, otherwise the leak may kill me. He thought like that. Then so the tiger allowed himself to be bound around the neck with a thick rope. The mysterious creature then climbed onto the tiger's back and pulled at the rope. Come on. Head for home, shouted the voice. The tiger felt a sharp kick on his side. The tiger was terrified and he ran through the dark forest. The creature pulled hard on the rope to tell him which way to go. At the same time, it scolded, cursed and kicked the poor tiger. Soon they stopped in front of a small hut on the edge of the thick forest. The creature climbed down from the tiger's back and bound him with an iron chain to a nearby tree. Then he went inside the hut. The tiger could not free himself from the chain, so he had to spend a miserable night under the tree. Who was this creature? Who was able to capture such a large and dangerous tiger? Let's find out. So now what happened? Yes, you can see the picture, right? You can see the picture, okay? So now what happened? You will get to know the continuous story, okay? So now what happened here? Someone came and said first the tiger heard the woman voice that leak is a dangerous animal, it thought. Again after some time it heard the male voice and it was telling that why are you here and how dare you are here, like that. So then immediately what the tiger understood, maybe I must run away from this place. What this man said, I must listen. So once when the man tied it with a rope, the tiger has come out, okay? And in the night the man cannot see that it was a tiger. Now you see here, the mysterious creature then climbed onto the tiger's back and pulled at rope. Come on, head for home, shouted the voice. The tiger felt a sharp kick on his back, on his side. The tiger was terrified and he ran through the dark forest. So the man gave a kick with a stick on the back. Then what happened? The tiger was terrified and he ran through the dark forest. The creature pulled hard on the rope to tell him which way to go. Okay, to which way it must go. As the rope was pulling hard, it is going through that direction. At the same time, it scolded, cursed and kicked the poor tiger. So at the same time what happened? It scolded. Okay, it means you will understand later on. Okay, it scolded, cursed and kicked. Cursed means what? Scolding, nothing but using some other words, and kicked the poor tiger. Soon they stopped in front of a small hut on the edge of the thick forest. Again they went inside the forest. Now after going to some distance, they stopped in front of one small hut on the edge of a thick forest. Then the creature climbed down from the tiger's back and bound him with an iron chain to a nearby tree. So the creature, actually it's not the creature, it's the human being, okay, sitting on the tiger. But what the tiger is thinking, that there is a creature on me, okay. So then he went inside the hut. The creature climbed down from the tiger's back and bound him with an iron chain to a nearby tree. It tied the tiger. Then he went inside the hut. The tiger could not free himself from the chain, so he had to spend a miserable night under the tree. So the tiger could not come out with that chain, okay. So it felt under the whole night it was under this tree itself. Then who was this creature? Who was able to capture such a large and dangerous tiger? Let's find out. So now what happened? Who was this creature? And who was able to capture such a large and dangerous tiger? Okay, let's find out. Then on the afternoon of that day, a potter had arrived home after a hard day's work. So again what happened? The potter, again he visited his home. He was tired and thirsty. He had asked his wife for some palm wine. So now what is the meaning of palm wine? Palm wine means toddy juice. From toddy plants, you know, no? From that, whatever the juice, liquid we get, that is called what? Wine. Okay, palm wine. So now what happened? The potter arrived his home, and as he was tired he was thirsty, he asked his wife to give some palm wine. The more he drank, the better he felt. The more he drank, as he has taken some, he did not feel better. He was going on taking more and more, then he felt little better. When he had drunk all the wine, he no longer felt tired. Okay, so completely he has finished that. When the storm began, the potter suddenly remembered that he had left his donkey tied under a tree. So now you have understood what he tied. He thought that it is his donkey, but it is not the donkey, it is the tiger. In the darkness, he did not notice that it is a tiger. So without noticing, he was thinking that I sat on my donkey and I took my donkey somewhere in the middle of the forest and I tied under the tree, he thought. But it is not the donkey, it is a tiger. He don't know that, okay. So now what happened? Then when the storm began, the potter suddenly remembered that he had left his donkey tied under a tree. Suddenly he remembered that, okay, I left my donkey there. He rushed out of his heart to take the animal into the stable. So immediately he went to the place and he wanted to get that animal into the stable. Okay, then you can imagine his anger when he discovered that the donkey was not there anymore. The only thing left was its chain. So now what happened when he went to that place? There was no donkey, but only the chain was left. Then what he said? My stupid donkey must have run off into the forest. He grumbled, when I catch him, I'll give him a good beating. So now what happened? What the potter said? Okay, my stupid donkey must have run off into the forest. Maybe it has run off into the forest. He grumbled. Grumble means what? Complain about something. What is the meaning of grumble? Complain about something. When I catch him, I'll give him a good beating. When I catch my donkey, I'll give him a good beating. Okay, so then what happened? The potter walked through the wet forest. The potter walked through the wet forest. When it became dark, he often stumbled over roots and fallen branches. With each step, the potter felt angrier and angrier with his donkey. So the potter walked through the wet forest. He was going on walking in search of his donkey. When he was getting as he was becoming tired, he was getting more and more angry on the donkey. This donkey is making me to walk the entire forest. Okay, when I catch him, I'll tie him up under the tree all night, he muttered to himself. What is the meaning of mutter? Mutter means speak something that cannot be heard. Okay, in your mouth itself, when someone says something, you will be in your mouth itself, you will be saying something, you will mutter something, whereas other people can't hear that. Okay, you will scold them. Then now, so now he muttered himself like that. If I catch it, I will tie it all over the night under the tree. Hours later, the potter reached the old woman's hut. So after some hours later, he reached the old woman's hut. There he saw an animal sleeping in front of the door. There he saw an animal sleeping in front of the door. There he is, he shouted. So by seeing that, okay, in front of the door, there was an animal lying. So by seeing that, he thought, okay, there is my donkey. He shouted, there he is, the stupid animal. Then the drunken potter did not notice the difference between the donkey and a tiger. So now the drunken potter did not understand, did not see the difference between the donkey and the tiger. He kicked and beat the sleeping tiger. He was beating, okay. The tiger slept there, no? So he was beating the tiger and kicking it. He jumped onto the frightened animal's back, rode it home, and then tied it with the iron chain. So he took the tiger, okay, to his house. He thought that it was the donkey, okay. Then next morning, the villagers who passed the potter's house looked in the amazement at the tiger tied to the tree. So the next morning, the people who were are going in front of that house, they have seen that and they were in amazement. They were shocked. What happened? In front of this potter's house, there is a big tiger. How dare he is the potter like that? They were astonished, okay, they were amazement. Then now, soon the news spread throughout the village. Throughout the village, the news was spread that the potter had caught a tiger and tied it to a tree in his yard. Then all the villagers praised his courage. Okay, all the villagers have come now. Yes, you are a very great and you are a courageous man. You are a brave man. Like that, everyone they were praising him. They also thanked him because the tiger had eaten many of their goats and buffaloes. So as you caught this tiger, you did a lot of help to us. Why? Because all these days this tiger is going on eating our goats and buffaloes. At last now you have caught this tiger. We are very thankful to you. We are very grateful to you. Like that they were saying. Then they had tried to catch him for many years but had failed. Of course, the potter said that he had done nothing of the sort. He said that he had only brought his donkey home. So what he was telling, he's saying the fact. No, I didn't get any tiger here. Just I brought my donkey. Then he did not understand how a donkey could change into a tiger. So he was thinking, I brought only the donkey now. How the donkey has changed into a tiger? Like, it's like a puzzle to me. Okay. When he saw the tiger, he fainted. When he has seen really the tiger, he fainted. Fainted means he fell down unconscious. He has become unconscious. Nobody however, believe the Potter's story. So when Potter is trying to tell them, no, 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 actually I brought only donkey, but how it has come here, I don't know. Like that, he was revealing the fact, but no one was believing his words. The villagers even praised him for being modest. Soon the Potter became famous. Everybody who met him called him the brave Potter. The simple Potter himself never understood why. So everyone who met him, they used to call him as a brave Potter. But the Potter, he understood that I am a simple Potter. Okay, then a few years later, war broke out between the Potter's country and a much stronger neighbor. The king immediately gathered a large army, but he realized that it was not strong enough to save his country from defeat. He needed a hero to lead his army. So the neighboring kingdom, okay, so the king thought that, okay, I cannot defeat the people. So for this, I need a strong hero. Then where could he find such a brave man? The king hurriedly called his ministers together and asked their advice. So I want a brave hero. Where could I find such kind of man? Like that they asked. Then what the ministers advised him. One of the ministers remembered the story of a brave Potter. So one of the ministers remembered the story of a brave Potter. Your Majesty, the minister said, I know someone who can lead our army. So I know someone who can lead our army. The king immediately sent a messenger to the Potter's house. When the Potter realized that he had been made general of the army, he became frightened. Oh my God, I don't know anything. How can I become a general? Okay, like that he said, and he was very much frightened. The king had ordered him to go to the palace the next day. How could he, a poor ignorant Potter, became the general of the army? He had never carried a sword, nor had he ever ridden a horse. He don't know how to ride a horse, and he never carried a sword also. Okay, then what happened? Oh, I shall die because of that stupid donkey. Because of that stupid donkey, all these things happened. Groaned the Potter to his wife. Groan means what? A low, mournful sound. Okay, like feeling very sad about that. He has only brought us trouble. The donkey has brought us trouble, only nothing for us. Okay. Then the next day he went with his wife to the capital. The king was pleased to see him and ordered the Potter to lead the army into the battle the next day. So now what happened the next day? He went to the he went along with his wife to the capital. The king felt very happy to see both of them, and the king ordered the Potter to lead the army into the battle the next day. The enemy were not far from the gates of the city. A splendid house had been prepared for the Potter and his wife. The horse which would carry him into the battle was ready in the stable. So in the stable also the horse was ready. That can be ready to fight. Okay, that is there in the stable. Okay, he can take that horse. Then that night the Potter could not sleep. Oh my God, tomorrow itself I have to get into the battle with the horse. How I can do this? Okay, whole night he did not go to sleep. He was nervous and worried because he did not know how to ride a horse. He was nervous, he was worried because he don't know how to ride a horse. How he'll get into the battlefield then along with the horse? If I fall off, everybody will laugh at me, he thought. If I get on horse and if I fall off, everyone will make fun of me. Everyone will laugh at me. He felt like that. I will get up very early tomorrow and practice riding the horse. So he decided that before others got up from their sleep, I must get up early and I have to practice on horse, he thought. At dawn, the Potter woke up his wife and they went to the stable. Okay, they went to the stable. They saw the beautiful brown horse ready for its new master. So they have sawn the beautiful brown color horse and it is ready. Oh, how tall he is, sighed the Potter. I shall never be able to climb onto his back. So it is very tall. How can I get onto his back? Okay, so the remaining part we will continue in the tomorrow's session. Okay, so I hope everyone have understood up to here. Have you all understood up to here? Once you have a glance at this topic, then you will get everything. Okay, the remaining part I shall continue in the next class. So thank you one and all.